Hello everybody, second video here, which is I think it's very important to the twin flames. And a lot of the people have this intense energies. A lot of the people focus on this intense energy, and it's very important to understand the process where those intense energies are coming into it. And it comes into the part of not interfere with your twin flame affairs on energy level into it, because when the connections begins to exist into it, specifically with the magnetic fields and also the energy in general into it, a lot of the twin flames have the tendency to have this kind of like a personal, hold the camera a little bit, there you go, that's better, little bit more personal. They continue to be manipulation for manifestations. What did I see? What did I saw? I spoke with someone today that her twin was separate from his wife for many years, but all of a sudden they meet each other and she blew up. I talked to someone who actually begins to have a very hard time about the connections, because when she feels her twin, all of a sudden feels her twin energy for his wife of everything that goes on in there. And you need to understand this is important part of you to focus on your own self about the energies. A very crucial part for me in the beginning was like, I don't want to know what she's doing to me, what is she's doing with her husband, what's the relationship, what's going on with it. None of that. God, please spare me this. I don't want to know. I want to be a disconnected on that part. The only time the connections I need is when she wants to have connection with me. That's it. Other than that, I don't care. She's got to work on herself. She's got to look at it into herself, and that's what it is. That was a very smart part that I did right off the beginning on my journey as a twin flame, and I understood the benefits down the road, how important it is. But I'm gonna draw you a little bit to understand, kind of like have a little bit of graphic picture of what's going on, and how you basically interfere with everything on it, and how you can control your own self. And when you control the things in yourself, you allow the time and space for your twin flame to fix their own stuff that they want to work on it. Otherwise, when you interfere, you can create a lot of damages that they should not be there in the first place. You can push for union thinking that they should be on the physical. You can't go to the physical union until you don't fix your own stuff, until you don't fix the issues that you need to work on yourself. You can't bring all the relationships that you have inside of yourself with the relationship with the twin flame. That's never gonna work. It's been proven that through the premature unions, you get in a union and all of a sudden the things don't work out, because the old stuff, the old programming, the old society things that goes inside of it, they cannot fit in that box of the twin flame. They're not gonna fit. Doesn't matter how much you're trying into it, ain't gonna work, because the resonance of the energy creates this intensity part, and that intensity creates the separations of the twin flames. You can control. That's it. Every other normal relationships, you can try to control your husband or your wife. You want to treat them as a property, like they belong to you, and all that stuff. You can knock yourself out with this. But when it comes to the twin flames, that stuff doesn't work. It's just, it is what it is, because this time it's the real part. This is time the real thing. And when it comes to this point, they don't work. So don't even try to manipulate your twin flame. Period. Of it. So a little bit of graphic I'm going to draw you here of what is it going on. And here I'm going to put UTF spouse. See. Okay. Okay. All three of you have energy exchanges. All of you have disconnections to one another. The spouse has connections, but now you have a different connection with your twin flame. So whatever your twin flame begins to feel somehow through this connection here begins to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're like, I feel my twin flame. They're very anxious about it because his wife or his husband, blah, blah, blah. So right now what you do is when you feel all this, you're trying to interfere of what this connection should be. And when you begin to interfere of that connection of what it is should be, what it is going on, now you go ahead and you interfere within the lessons that needs to be learned as a karmic partners. If your twin flame doesn't learn to be honest in the truth about the karmic, and he doesn't say the truth that it's whatever he feels to his spouse, guess what? There's going to be all the time attentions in here. When you begin to interfere and then you tell your twin what to do on a 5D, because this is a 5D connection here, the worst part is if you have this connection, or even if you have this sexual connections that goes on, then the things are going to be going crazy because you cannot handle it everything, because it creates this magical nightmares that goes on. And the worst part is you have all those two people inside of you of what's going on, and it creates an instant pressure all the time for it. That instant pressure can create a very bad vibes, that very bad aggravations that it will drive you nuts. You kind of like constantly worrying about, you constantly going freaking it out. What if my twin flame does? This is why you have to go ahead and disconnect these parts here and allow your twin flame and his karmic partner to fix their own stuff. When they fix their own stuff, they're going to be working on the issues that they have. If your twin flame is honest and it's truth, your twin flame is going to fix his card connection that goes in with the karmic. They're going to go ahead and tell him the truth. Your twin flame is going to be balancing this sexual energies inside of him. He's going to understand it's not about sex, it is about soul. And when your twin flame is ready, he's going to come in, he's going to be telling you in a perfect language, hey, I'm ready for union. I understand what we are. I already solved my issues with the spouse, with my karmic partner, and she knows everything about it. And it's time for us to be what we are. I did my inner work on this, this, and this. I understand what we are. I believe of what's going on. And then you're going to be go ahead and fixing your own issues of it. The big part of the premature unions of it, it's that part of fast, hurry up, let's go now, not tomorrow, now. And you don't know what to do with your twin flame when you get them. Because when you get with your twin flame, which is I talked to a few people who got in a premature unions and then they get separated, it's because of this, because of you, because of the part of you trying to be on hurry up. Now it is. Don't you see this love? Aren't you blind? Don't you see all the signs? We are meant for each other. We are do this. Well, you haven't done your inner work. You haven't done your part of you focus on your own self into. And this is a big lesson through a lot of the twin flames, because you're trying to interfere throughout the vibrations of what's going on with all three people. Well, you kind of like you put in yourself, your twin flame, and his karmic partner inside of you. Now you have to deal with all the three people inside of you, despite everything else that is already inside of you. And you're trying to control it. You can't control this stuff. This stuff cannot be controlled. They're not meant to be controlled. Can be interfere. Whatever your twin flame is going to be be fixing on it. It's their own job. It is your twin flame's job to go ahead and work on themselves. When you begin to work on yourself, of it, you're gonna find out that the internal happiness is between you and the universe. And when you and the universe are working together, you're gonna begin to fulfill your part of things that they're beyond your kind of like a beyond your understanding, and all of a sudden you begin to have a much more higher level of understanding about everything. Basically, like your brain is going to be automatically googling the informations that you need. Also, this is known for the downloads of the twin flames, and a lot of the people now they're laughing, oh my god, Dio, yeah, you're talking about this. Yes, I'm talking about that. The downloads, this is how we're getting the information. This is how Einstein came in his theory of relativity, and he's trying to explain that we are all one thing, but people don't listen. Of course, people listen their own agendas. They don't listen how you have to do the things of it. So, but you focus on you. You establish this relationship with universe, God. This is what has been talking in all the religious parts, that it's important what is your relationship with God. God gave you the soul, universe gave you the soul, and that way this is your connection with the divine, not a connection with the twin flame, yes, because your twin flame has to have their own connection with the universe. They have to begin to live in the real life in order to have a real connection. And this is why some of the twin flames they're not awakened, because they have things they need to do. They have to overcome their fears. They have to overcome their portions of what they need to do. And if they're not real, guess what? The universe says you're not real. Why would I put you in a real relationship? When you learn to be a real, then I'm going to put you in the real relationships. You can go find another fake relationships and see how many broken relationships you will have until you don't understand. You got to be real. You have to be real and honest. And this is why when the things happen and the twin flame comes in, the naked talk is always the great video for you to watch it into. The vibes, the bad vibes are coming in because you be getting mad. How come your twin flame is not reacting towards its karmic? Big time ego control, big time manipulation for manifestation, specifically from um, a feminine side. The big side that I see from a masculine is when this happening to the masculine, they're like, why don't you see whatever your husband does with you? Why don't you see you guys are not meant for each other? And so on and so on. By the way, the men are more cowards than the women. The women, at least, they can go ahead and commit and admit. The men have a very hard time to commit or admit that they have a feelings for another woman when they're married. And this is something that a lot of the twin flames, that's what they are, runners. Most of them, they are men. The man may be looking powerfully on a physical and controlling and everything, but the man, it's very weak when it comes in to be a real. And this is why they need to learn the divine masculine power of to be real. They have to become a real man and be the same the truth. That I learned it pretty much at the beginning. I kind of like understood that I have to go ahead and be real and tell my twin flame the real stuff, tell everything on it. And a lot of the men there still don't have this power. They're basically chickens. They quack 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 and go and pretend like nothing happens into it. But during the night they don't sleep, and their wife, where you don't sleep, they cannot say. Compared to me, the part that I said why. And but focus is about you. Focus on the things that you need to do. And I'm gonna put this on different perspective right now. So we're gonna knock this out pretty quick of it. So it's about you. When you picture yourself, you have a lot of connections. You have a connections within the soul. You have the connection with the mind. You have the connection within the heart. And also you have a physical connection. You guys know I don't know how to spell, right? English is not my first language, so I'm not going to bother with that. Anyway, the thing is, when the soul connection begins to kick in, a lot of the people, they begin to focus of all the energy that comes in and here without anything to balance. And later on, when they get into this soul energy, they left off all the 3D stuff. In some of the people, they're losing their jobs. Some of the people, they're losing their vibrations. Some of the people, they're losing their twin flame. Why? Because everything comes in with the word control. When you learn to surrender, you give up this control. And when you give up this control, then what's happening is you let the divine to be in charge. It's been explained in all the religions and all the books. You have to be let go. Let the God takes over. Let the universe takes over. Let all this part comes in. And when the energy is focusing here, you need to understand you live in art. This is your 3D and this is your 5D. And the magic is right here in your heart. The magic, love that you're looking for. You need to learn to be happy on your own without anything out of your twin flame. You need to be grounded. You have to have a touch with the mother nature, so your feet has to be on the ground, and you have your head, your soul, looking into the sky, to the God, to the universe, so you can have your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground. Keep your job, keep your everything, and let your twin flame to work on themselves. Stop interfering what's going on and any kind of like a energy way, soul way, heart way, even in the physical. If you're trying to go ahead and chase them, you just have to tell them one thing: I love you. Only God can love you more than I do. You may don't understand why, but I do. And maybe it's in time you will understand what. If your twin flame comes in and then asking you a question, you know what, I don't understand this energy, what is going on between us. What is this powerful love between us? You can just go ahead and tell them, I can't explain you so much, but what I can tell you is just go ahead and research yourself, and I will tell you the two words, twin flame. Go ahead and research it. Maybe you will understand it and you will look at it into. They have to go ahead and do their job basically on their own. But it's your responsibility, if you awaken twin flame and you understand everything, now is you to tell them when and how and why they're going to research this information and do this information. That is entirely up to them, to their divine powers. Everything is come in its own half-time. It has its own time, also known as the divine time. What it's meant to be will happen into it. Not you to go ahead and create all those crazy energies that you're going to look for it. You're going to be crazy all about it. And when they realize they're going to be going on and they're going to do their inner work, they're going to do their inner stuff, and then they're going to come back to you and they will lie. Now I understand what we are and what we are for, and that's what you're looking for. So guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope that helps you out. And guys, be love, please. Be love in any situation. Doesn't matter of what's going on. Doesn't matter of the things they are. And just be love. You are love. You need to have this happiness for you. And then when you're happy with yourself, when the twin flame comes in, the twin flame is going to bring this power of bliss that you're looking for. Thank you so much. Be love.